Like that annoying friend that just won't go away. I am here once again to talk to you about specificity this week. So it's going to be a lot easier than how it is to say that word. I had a question this week about cycling and exercises you could be doing to help with that specifically. So that's what we're going to go through a bit of today. It's going to help with other things as well, not just cycling, but I thought let's go through some of that now. Again, if you get the chance to hit subscribe on the YouTube channel here, give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Let's get cracking. Have a jolly old time. So welcome back everybody, welcome back to the StartStrong series. Let's get you going. We're going to work on a lot of mobility and stretching this afternoon. So what we're going to look for here is the first exercise. I'm going to be doing a bit of a stretch and using a resistance band. Now if we don't have a resistance band at home or wherever you're doing this, nice picture from the Arctic by the way, the person that sent me that last week. Nice work, you know who you are. Keep those pictures coming in because they're really interesting to see where people are doing these videos. If you don't have a resistance band there with you, you could always use a towel. So you could wrap up a towel and have that to use at the same time if you want to. Essentially, what we're looking to do here is stretch out down the back of the legs here. So we're going to go for hamstrings, calves on the back of the leg there. And that's going to help take off some pressure from that lower back as well, because they come up from the back of the pelvis there. And it's all about just trying to loosen everything off and get those working muscles to just relax a little bit. Now, we're going to do this a little bit differently to how we've done some of the other exercises in that we're going to build up to 2 minutes, but we're going to be doing 30 seconds a leg as opposed to holding for a minute aside. So we're going to go for 30 seconds. And what I want to try and do is get the leg nice and straight and then pull the foot and the leg up towards your head. All right. Now, when you're in that position, I also want you to flex your foot down towards your shin, and that's like, whoo-hoo, that is going to light up through that calf as well. All right. Now, whilst we're in that position, we breathe. Big, deep breaths. All right. And just think about how delightful and how wonderful and splendid this stretch is. Because these muscles get very stiff if we're sat down a lot throughout the day. Let's swap over legs. That's 30 seconds on that leg. We're going to do this twice on each leg here. All right. So once we're ready, let's get you going. So again, pulling on the other side. Remember, one side might be a bit stiffer than the other. Pull the toes down towards the ground there. Big smiles. Just enjoy it. Think of it as an opportunity. So let's keep you going on that. Remember, breathing in through your nose. Breathing out through your mouth. Just get that lovely, wonderful stretch. Remember, try not to force it here. We're just going to that position of mild discomfort. And we want to try and just hold in that position there. But like I say, we're doing it for shorter amounts of time this time and not going too crazy with it. So we've done once on each side there. That's halfway. Now we're going to do the same thing again on the other leg. So same thing. Pulling that leg in, just try and get a teeny bit further than you originally were. And then again, flex that foot down towards the shin. Big deep breaths. Thinking of a happy place. Hope you're all going to have a lovely Easter, everybody. This could be a nice sort of pre-Easter egg blast for you. Well done. Just big deep breaths. Keep that stretch in. Well done. Okay. So again, last time on the other leg, same thing. So you're keeping the other knee bent as you're doing this one and pulling that other leg in nice and straight. Flex the foot down towards the shin, really lengthen down. Again, don't force it, just learn to love it. And big deep breaths. Well done. Because these, again, if they get very stiff, they do put excess pressure onto that low back. All right, so we're taking the pressure off of there, freeing you up for that. Well done, and let's relax that there. Let's hug those knees into the chest from that one. Now with the next one now, we're going to go into a single leg stretch, but I'm going to modify it slightly in that I'm going to keep the head down initially, and I want to try and keep your lower back nice and flat onto the floor. So what we're looking for is that imprinted position, which we can start off if you want to by gently coming down with the feet down onto the ground and turning your pelvis back just slightly, so you're shortening the gap just a little bit between the pelvis and the lower rib, yeah? So we're not jamming your lower back in towards the floor. We're going to take one leg up at a time from there, keep the tummy screwed in towards the ground. Using the hands, we're then going to take both hands around one leg and we're extending the other leg out. Okay, so again, we're reaching out, pulling the one knee in and extending the other leg out. Now again, we're looking for 2 minutes on this one, all right? So just adjust my timer here, so we're on 2 minutes. All right, here we go. So again, we're gonna pull the one knee in, push the heel away on that straight leg, really flex that out and reach. So this is really good at helping to stretch out those hip flexors. So in one of the earlier episodes, we were talking about, if they get tight, they pull you forwards into an anterior pelvic tilt. That can over-exaggerate the curve of the lower back, causing you lower back pain as well. But again, it's all good for loosening off a lot of the muscles and getting some movement in there that you use through cycling. Now, you don't have to necessarily do all of this before going out for a bike ride or anything like that. Some of the sort of stretching and things, it has a much better benefit if you're doing it after the exercise. So what I generally tend to like doing is getting people doing like a less or a slower version of what they're going to be doing. So if you're going out for a bike ride, I would suggest going out for a very nice relaxed sort of 5, 6, 10 minutes or so, just nice and chilled out, nice and relaxed, and then go up to a bit more of like a maximum pace of what you're going after. All right, so doing all of this afterwards can really help, again, then improve your performance for what you're doing in the future. If you wanted to make this one a bit more of a challenge, you can also lift the upper body off of the floor with the shoulders back and down. Remember the head placement, the rib cage placement, and then do the same thing whilst you're then holding and you're really pulling in from the tummy here, still keeping the lower back flat, but that's going to be really working a lot more into your abs as well. We breathe it out as we swap. Deep breath in, hold, breathe it out as you swap, okay? So again, up to you whether you want to do it with the head up or we can have the head down, your choice. As long as you're in a nice comfy position, you can keep the lower back nice and flat down and you can really get that push-pull and loosen off right through. So this is one that, I've torn my adductors and hip flexors before from a streetboarding injury, and this is one that I can really feel on that hip flexor, so it's a really nice one to loosen all that off. Okay, so once we've finished on that one now, we can then relax you off and go into a spine rotation. So from there, what we're going to do is use a block or two, depending on your positioning. But again, if you don't have a block or anything at home, you could be using a cushion, a pillow, anything like that. The main reason being that when we lie you down here, what we want to have is a nice neutral position through your neck here. We don't want to be sort of over like this and resting your head right down onto the floor, because that's not going to be good for the neck. So depending on how your head placement is, you might need one or two. I'm going to go for the two. We're going to have the knees bent, so the legs are out in front of you here, and we're taking the lower arm on top of that top leg. Okay, so we're going to pin the legs down to the ground here. The top arm, we're reaching out towards the far wall, and as we breathe in, we're going to rotate backwards and reach right the way towards the back wall, and then breathe it out as we come back. Okay, so again, this is going to be a minute on this side and then a minute on the other side. So again, we breathe it in as we reach over, breathe it out as we gently come back. Now, if you can reach the floor on this one, you're more than welcome to rest right the way down, but I don't want you to force it though. So if you find that you can get to, let's say here, that's fine. Just go to wherever you can. The idea is all about opening out across the chest here, getting some thoracic mobility. That's the part of the spine there that's on the back of the rib cage and up in towards the shoulders that gets very, very stiff if we're slouching, if we're reaching over. We tend to slouch if we're, sat down at a desk or driving or anything of that nature. And we're just going to try and open some of that out. And it also loosens off around your core as well, which is really quite nice. So again, we breathe in as we reach over, And breathe it out as we come back. All right, so we'll just keep you going there. This is our last one, because that is the 1 minute. Well done. Right, so then we can swap you over. All right, so we'll go to the other side and do the same thing. I need to take my microphone pack off here. All this modern technology, it'd be much easier if it was just like a normal class so I can shout at you. So I don't use microphones in my actual class, but anyway, getting used to the new technology, it'll be fine. It'll just take me a few years. Anyway, so top arm, or sorry, the lower arm down onto the top of that lower leg there. So we're going to bring that top arm over in front. So you pin that top leg down, head on the blocks or on pillows or whatever you have there. We breathe it in as we reach across, breathe it out as we gently come back. Okay, so once again, we're going to be looking at 1 minute on this side as well. So breathe it in, and then let's breathe it out. Well done, breathe it in, and breathe it out. Marvelous work. So again, I wanted to do some mobilizations here because, you know, when you're cycling through, you know, you're going to be finding that, you know, the strength in your legs is going to be pretty good. You know, your endurance is going to be building up. It's going to be really decent there. What a lot of clients come to me with is tightness and lower back pain and shoulder pain from their head positioning and things as well. So always make sure you get your bike checked out, make sure you're in the right position so you're not going to be hunched over too much and causing excess pressure into your neck and into your upper back. And anything sort of tightness wise and mobility wise, hopefully this should make a big difference for you if you're doing this after a bike ride. Okay, once again, that's our last one there. Well done, everybody. So again, you can take it easy and relax off of that one. Hopefully that will help you out if you're into your cycling or any other sports, really. It's going to be a great thing to be doing. I mean, anytime you're stretching out across the front here, doing hip flexors and things of that nature, anytime you're stretching out across the front here and moving, getting some rotation into your spine is always a good thing. So again, leave me some comments, leave me some feedback. Tell me how you're finding all the videos so far. Send me the pictures of where you're doing all this stuff as well, because again, I'll be really interested to see where you all are. And look forward to seeing you next time. Take care, everybody.